What is up, guys and gals? My name is Splattercat, and we're here at the Nerd Castle with the next episode of Stoic Studios' stunningly stenciled animated game, The Banner Saga. I don't know, I was trying to come up with more ST words, but unfortunately there was no STs left, so I was forced to just move along. In the last episode, we had come across the first outrunners of the other group, the one that was being directed by Ubin or whatever the hell his name was. And so let's go ahead and leave. This was just a camp that I had thrown together just so I would have a save point. Let's be on our way. We just found out that Grofheim had been absolutely annihilated. There was a big dragony thing in the background. Basically, a ton of scary shit is happening right now. If you're a medieval peasant and you're running around in the snow and like mountains are falling over, you definitely start to get a little bit nervous. An old man sits astride an overgrown portion of the trail. You lost, he asks, or you ask. He adjusts the leather strap on his head and says, no. Are you? He jumps up and shuffles toward the caravan, his tattered clothes revealing no weapons. Well, I've seen better, the old man says, peering into the supply wagons, but I'll join you. He stands next to a fighter, throws his beard over his shoulder, and puffs up his chest. The fighter grins and the stranger exhales, asking, what are we waiting for? Lead the way. Well, you're welcome to join if you can. I don't know, he sounds hilarious. Keep pace, the old man puffs through his mustache. No fleeter than old Unar. And husbands, mind your wives, I'm cursed with the golden tongue, not silver. The caravan enjoys a good laugh as they start moving once again. Well then, at least we've made ourselves in good company, I suppose. We'll find out what's going to happen right here. We need to get some more supplies, so that's something to think about. Ivor tells you, we can't stay here long. It'll take 3 straight days to cross Burra Pass, so stock up. There's no stopping once we leave. He takes off to speak with another Varl about setting up defenses. Dad, says Alette, appearing at your side, I liked old Ivor. Somewhere in the back of your mind you feel the same way. You focus on preparations instead, realizing that you may be one of the first humans about to set foot in Einertoft. Alright then, let's have a look around. I mean, the market we've obviously got to hit, and we're probably going to spend all of our renown. We're in a little bit of a death spiral right now with regards to upgrades and renown. There aren't enough battles in this middle period to level people up from what I can tell. Hopefully in the next bit there are. But for now, I'm going to spend everything on supplies since that's what we've got. There it is right there. We got one renown gets us 4 supplies, and it appears as though it would take us about 5 or 6 supplies to get through a day. I don't like that decision right there, but for whatever reason, the last part of the game, there was no combat, so we have nowhere to get renown from. Little bit of a disappointment, and we can't sell off any of our excess loot to get a little bit extra. I don't like our supply situation right now. I don't like our level up situation either. We've got a bunch of people who are ready for promotions, and we can't do anything with them. Little disappointing. Let's hang out and check out our Heroes Hall, and make sure that there's not any loot that we could distribute to random people. With Ivor. Krumir, I don't know. What was Krumir? He was a war leader, and his ability was something like, oh yeah, he can give people, I suppose he trades his turn. Well, I don't know if he trades his turn or if he uses experience to move them in line to next in initiative. So it seems like he's trading his turn so that you can move someone else. But I don't know. I haven't played around with him that much. In any case, he's got decent stats. He hits really, really hard, so he's basically a Warhawk just with a different ability. He's also got a really high capacity for breaking armor, which would be a cool thing to keep in mind. Alette's ready to go. We've got a lot of people who are ready to upgrade, and I had heard about this. I've read about this problem from a number of people online where they say there's not enough battles to level people up, and with Rook's party you end up just spending all of your renown on goods. Kind of a death spiral from how I've heard it described, but unfortunately, hopefully we'll get a couple battles in between here and the next location. We'll end up okay. Let's take our leave and be out on the road.
We approach a city that only Varl have seen and cross a bridge that only Varl could build. Let us hope that we are the only unwelcome visitors to pass.
Somehow that bridge doesn't look structurally sound to me. Just in my experience, it's looking a little thin right there. I feel like that would have to go out a tad further and also be a little bit thicker right there. Then again, what the hell do I know? That is a lot of Varl. Somehow in arriving here, I feel as though we've kind of taken our last steps. Like, this is where everything's gonna end. It has that feeling about it. It's got a definite, like, Helm's Deep type feeling. You're like, well, this is where we stand and die and stuff. Or like a Moria-esque stand to the last man. God. I hope not. I want to live! All these warriors, another great war is upon us. It's the third time I've had to see such a thing. There are far fewer of us now than there once was. Krumer heads up the stairs to the Great Hall and returns shortly after speaking to some Varl. What did they tell you? By all accounts, the Dredge are coming here. Looks like they plan to end the Varl for good this time. This place will become a killing field soon. They say the Prince of Men is here. They've got a Mender, too. Prince Luden is here from Arborang? In any case, we'll be given no audience today. You remember the last time you were here, Ingvar? It's Ivor. Yeah, I remember it. What now? We find somewhere to rest. I'd recommend keeping your people out of trouble while you're here, Rook. In fact, keep them invisible. Gerunder won't be happy you're here. You're shown to quarters, but could wander the city while you wait for an audience. You feel like you could sleep for a week straight. Well, I suppose I could have made it on the supplies that I had, and I guess they did tell me that it was going to be 4 days, so maybe I wasted some renown here. Nothing that worrisome. Let's have a look at the market. See what they've got. The Obsidian Powder. Knockback on strength attacks of 4. 1 armor break on the Narwhal Horn. That'd be a nice item to have. I may come back. The Obsidian Ring. They've got a lot of obsidian here. Apparently there's something igneous occurring nearby. It absorbs light, plus 2 to strength. That's not bad. Or a studded palm. Yeah, there's a ton of good stuff here that I want. I want all of these. What I've noticed is that in the past, those items will show up in future battles if you didn't get to buy them, so maybe that's what'll happen. Let's take a rest. As you settle in, you receive word to come to the Great Hall the next morning. Ivor suggests not speaking unless addressed, and even then, keep it short. In your dreams that night, you see Varl kings fighting with Dredge lords. An ominous feeling lingers as you prepare to enter the Great Hall. Well, let's enter. Enough, Ivan. The bridge stands. Find some other way. Greetings from Wormtoad, Gerunder. I've brought an ally. Who are these people? We don't have time for games. Luden being a dick like always. Wait. I know you. Ingvar among us again. Is this what the end of the world looks like? Gerunder steps down from his throne to get a closer look. In the light, you spy deep wounds on the Varl King. Yeah, he's looking like he's made out of Band-Aid right now. It was my last option. You look like death, Gerunder. The Sunder came through Grofheim. All of them, or we would still be there. A few thousand Varl remain. Belor has been following us since Grofheim. That's what he does. What will you do? Remain? There's no better place for us than here. We will make our stand in Einertoft. But even if Einertoft falls, the Varl won't be wiped out. Hakon is taking our best warriors to Arborang, as we were discussing. I'm not going, Gerunder. We're needed here. It's not a debate. A messenger bursts through the doors, cutting the tension. He says a stone singer has been cutting a path across the bridge. Gods, can we not have a moment's respite? They should not be here already. A stone singer's with him. Let me bring down the bridge, as I said. It'll buy us... I said the bridge stands, Mender. I say it again to you, and the Prince of Men, and the whole Mender Council were they here. I will not say it again. Hakon, you go to Arborang. Eyvind, do not even touch that bridge. Am I understood? You are. Then I'll confront the singer myself. Nobody tries to stop Eyvind, but many follow as he leaves the Great Hall. The Mender walks past great companies of Varl on the way to the bridge. A tall, thin creature stands there. 2 black spears over its shoulders, ringed by Dredge. The Varl have backed away in fear. Eyvind stops before the stilt-legged creature. Suddenly, Ivor is beside you. What is that thing? A stone singer, mutters Ivor. As close as the Dredge come to Menders of their own. I've only seen one before and it didn't go well. Can Eyvind win this? I don't know, but I think we're about to find out. We should help him. You expect Ivor to refuse, but instead he locks eyes with you. Listen to me, Rook, he says. You will probably die here, and so will everyone else who steps on that bridge. Look at your daughter. Are you prepared for that? Well, you're not doing this alone. I won't stop you, says Ivor. Fight like it's your last. You're not sure what to expect, but you draw your axe and soon find yourself standing behind Eyvind on the bridge, wondering if you made the right decision. This could be a terrible idea. Let's go ahead and stock up with all of our best guys. We've got Eyvind at level 5. Ivor will go there. We've got 2, 2, 2, 3. We could bring Oddleif, but since I've already built up these guys to Sunder armor, I think that's how I'm going to keep it. I have no idea what Eyvind does, so we'll keep him in line. We'll kind of take a look at his abilities in just a moment, and let's get going with this thing. Let's see what we have here. It appears as though there's our singer right there, and let's see what his abilities are. So he's got Rupture, which he self-destructs his allies, and they deal damage equal to their remaining armor to adjacent units. Oh my god, really? Brutal. Although I suppose if you've wiped somebody out, you've wiped them out. Let's have a look around the field here and figure out what we're up against. We definitely seem outmatched. I'll say that for this whole thing. This guy right here is a particular problem. So I think what we're gonna have to do is we have to bum rush this little group right here. As much as I would like to, let's have a look. As much as I'd like to hang back on this one, we need to come out full force. I really do think that's gonna be our initial plan. I'll step him back by 1 just in case. But my goal here, he's really, really fragile, so let's be careful. What does he do? Arc Lightning 1, so it deals 2 strength damage and then hits diagonal units too. Or he can restore an ally's armor equal to half of the mender's current willpower. Okay, so let's go for it. We've got Ekkel up first. I'm gonna move him. Let's look at the turn order. And my concern here is, what if this umbrage right here, if this stacks? If he can use this back to back to back to back, this is not a fight that we can play defense on, because he can basically sit back there and turn these archers into just absolute ranged killing machines. So we need to kill these 3 as quickly as possible if that's the case and it stacks. I don't think I'm going to take a chance on it. I think I'm going to sprint out and we're just going to fight them as they stand right now. So I'm going to take him out. We're going to use Stonewall. We're going to use the second version of it, which is going to give him 5 deflection. Because this guy right here already can do 9 damage, so that's going to reduce it to 4. But, I mean, he's still going to take a ton of damage versus this guy. It's going to be ugly. This guy right here is the ringer. Like, this guy needs to go right now. So there it goes. Let's see what this guy does. Unfortunate. I was hoping something like that would not happen. Puts me in a little bit of an unenviable situation. Now, I can get in here with Trygve, but then Trygve might get one-shotted. So if I get in here and I stab him, he's going to have to walk around and take a bunch of damage. I can only assume, since he didn't blow anybody up, that he's casting Umbrage right now. Let's swing him wide for the moment, I guess. I'm not going to go for the first turn hit, I guess. It's just too much. Using up 3 of his willpower right in the beginning seems like a big expenditure. I'm gonna put her right there, and we're gonna get her started on his armor. Little bit of damage to Trygve. And he's got how much willpower? 8? Well, he can mend people, which is kind of a cool ability, but I don't know how useful that's going to be. Let's Arc Lightning that guy, and we'll throw some extra heat on it just to get his strength down a little bit, but he's still going to hit really terrifyingly hard. And of course, we're not going to catch the bounce because nobody's diagonal from one another. Let's bring Rook in. And put another 4 armor sundering on him. Since Eccle's able... I could keep working on his armor, or I could keep Eckle in the front. That's not what I told you to do. What do you... I didn't even click that. I was clicking on his... Oh my god. Whatever. Okay, so... let's get out here. We can deal 7 damage right now, or we can knock him back through his own units. I'm gonna go for the 7 damage. He needs to be reduced. And of course, there goes the big explosive that I forgot about. He's about to die anyways. So let's get him out here and make him do something. When is his... oh, he just had his turn. Okay, so that should be fine. Nobody's lined up diagonally. Like, his ability really kind of sucks. His ability is terrible. In fact, they should have just made it a blanket AoE because they're being very careful about not lining up diagonally, which is incredibly specific considering units very rarely line up diagonally in this game that I've seen so far. You tend to make adjacent lines. She's gonna kill him. Well, maybe that'll work. Is it gonna zap my own units? I'm really worried about using this right now. Let's find out. Apparently that doesn't count as diagonal, I guess. He's got to go because he's summoning another ally, and that's the last thing we need in a fight like this. So he's got to die right this second. We do, by some lucky chance, have a diagonal over here, though, which will work out for us. I need to protect my archers. When is his turn up? Pretty soon. And that means... no. That is not what I want you to do. We've had enough Mish turns right here. I think I'm going to move him to there. A bit of a sacrificial lamb. We'll double stonewall him again. He's going to throw out explosives into an interesting location. When is his turn? So I have 2 conflicting choices here. And my choice is thus. This guy either gets to hit us, or this guy gets to hit us. One or the other. I can knock somebody back right now, but I can only pick one. And of course, he's still got willpower left too. Well... I was hoping there would be a way in which I could sort of trap him in a choice, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. I guess I'll block... I think Rook hits harder, so I think my better choice right here... I mean, I could lose either or. It's sort of a... I'll move him to here, and then we're going to shield bash this guy back to get him out of our hair. He's going to take some damage right there from those explosives. Yeah, that's exactly what I expected to happen. Luckily, she's a shield breaker anyways. So we'll continue bashing up that armor. He's at 7 strength. Part of me wonders if I should have him mend the armor of Egil right now. He's been going through a lot of willpower, though. He's up next. Well, I don't want to damage him too substantially because then he could detonate him, but whatever. Let's just do it. We need to start reducing some of these strength counts, which are incredibly large, to be honest. I was concerned something along those lines might happen. Let's get started working him. Work that armor one more time. And I think my best plan is probably to back him off a tad, even though he's going to die in the next turn. Let's use up his remaining... We gave it all to him, so we may as well use it now, I guess. We don't have anybody lined up diagonally. If we can reduce his strength a tad, it puts us in a better position. He's going to throw out explosives, which isn't bad. And now they're kind of trapped, because we do have a ringer left. How far can he move with his one? So he can move out to like there. He has a lot of strength left, so he's the only person that I'm worried about at the moment. But if I leave him here, he's going to get hit by explosives, which is weak, so... Let's back off for a minute. They're not in a position to be doing any type of bartering, I don't think. It's interesting that they're just opting to like pigeonhole out right now. It's a weird situation to be in. He's got a little bit left in him. Unfortunately, his movement range is so large that I'm left in the unenviable position of just kind of pigeonholing here. Okay, so he's gonna try and get strength back now for all of his guys. Which is cool, it's not gonna save him. We're gonna draw back and let's get some willpower back. We're just gonna kite the hell out of this thing. And so my only interest now is killing him, because he's gotta go. Because he cannot partake of that strength. And so down he goes. They're down to 2 units now. I'm gonna use her as bait. Or we can just use him as bait. He doesn't really have anything left anyways. Let's use him as bait, because I've got to keep him at full strength. Hooray, it worked! I am so excited that that worked out for me. I am really excited that that worked out. Fantastic. Oh my god, I can't believe we kited that one out. I was really feeling as though that was going to be a really, really ugly battle for us, and it had the potential to be, for sure. How much does he have left? I mean, he's got 4 willpower. Let's just hang back a moment. We're going to let him do his thing. I see no, like, real reason to put myself, like, on the front lines here. And he does have pretty substantial movement. For now, let's go ahead and reduce his strength a tad. And we want to force him to split, maybe. So we want him to decide who he's going to go after. I'm going to send a let off over here. Once again, as a sacrifice. We're going to go for a full armor break so that the next turn we can bring this thing home. I'm sitting, in case you did, I don't sound very animated right now. I'm sitting at this very moment with just like my head cradling in my hands right now. Like wondering what I'm going to do. This has been a very intense fight. Let's go ahead and take this final shot. Let's get this thing done. Aside from the miss move, oh my, I definitely felt outclassed in this fight from the beginning on. I feel like we need a lot more level ups. Hopefully we get a ton of renown from that, because that was a battle right there. Wow. That's a fun one though. That's the first battle we've had so far where I got killed based on the fact that the initial battle was bad, and I like that. It was a challenging fight. The stone singer falls hard, a howl like a hurricane sweeps across the bridge, the dredge part like a black sea. From their depths steps a crimson behemoth, a wave of sheer terror hits you like you've never felt before. Bellower. Get the mender out of here, Ivor hisses, and run. Your legs move almost with a will of their own, though you can't pull yourself away from watching what happens next. Gods, what was I thinking? I don't think you were, man. This is a bad, bad idea. I think this is one of those fights, like RPGs have these every now and again where you're supposed to lose it. Like there's just nothing you can do about it. I'm gonna make it difficult. Walk back, bitch. Just a worthless, just like, I'm gonna make this a little bit more difficult for you by forcing you to walk another like 3 meters back to me. Did his arm just get chopped off? Or is that somebody else's arm? It matches his colors. Ivor writhes in agony, his arm torn clean off by Bellower's onslaught. The Sunder raises his weapon for the killing blow. Sunder, face me, screams the uncertain Avon, stepping back onto the bridge, raising its staff high. Even from here, you can see his arm trembling. You feel practically frozen in place watching. Is this what we're gonna do? We're just gonna trot out one by one and get annihilated? Avon recoils in terror from the massive serpent that has appeared in the distance, and even Bellower backs away. It leans in close to inspect the two armies, flicks its great tongue, and then indifferently lurches over the mountainside and out of sight. The dredge are a knot of confusion. Some cower, others crouch in what looks like worship. Hakon shouts orders above the din. Vol rush forward, bowling over surprised dredge, gaining ground. Bellower has receded back into the horde. Jarunder watches from atop the stairs. Hurry, says Avon. suddenly pulling at your arm, snapping you out of the moment. You rush to Ivor, laying on the ground amidst the fighting, still breathing despite a missing arm, and drag him back into the city. Wow. The game is definitely picking up pace right now. I'm going to break the episode off here, unless it's going to say something. Okay, so let's break the episode off here because this one's running a little bit long. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me in the Nerd Castle for another thrilling episode of the Banner Saga. The Burning Saga. No, that's what happens after a bad date. Anyways, the Banner Saga. It's been a really cool, this has been one of my favorite episodes to film so far. That was a difficult fight, and it came down to the line. I've got a little bit of the butterflies going on. I like winning, and especially when I'm on camera with people watching me, because then I feel like a dolt if I lose. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Take care out there, everybody, and farewell.